I remember when I was a kid, I would always like to sleep out in the living room on the couch whenever we had finished decorating the tree. So I'd spend the night out on the couch and just sort of drift to sleep looking at the lights and sort of taking in all the new decorations that we'd put up. I come from a bit of a pastor family, so up through the great-great-grandfathers, several greats, the whole family on both sides have been part of the church. So it was always pretty natural. There isn't too much of a single revelation point for me. I didn't have a Billy Graham moment. When I think I got baptized when I was 10, 9. I think at that point I had sort of checked off all the check boxes that I understood at the age. Probably most people would say, and I would too, that you don't really get a full grasp of what you've done in that until much later. When I was a freshman in high school, that is when my parents separated, and everybody at the time was basically sort of assuming that we would all, I mean, it was a hard time, but everybody assumed that we would sort of fall away, and I didn't really like that. So I sort of dug in a lot deeper at that point. Because I had already accepted Christ and was baptized and had decided that that was how I was going to live my life, that if I hadn't done that yet, then I wouldn't have any reason to have dug my heels in there. I remember my gut instinct at first was to just get away from the whole situation. Like, I don't know, I was too young to really have my own place, but that was my idea. I was just sort of like, maybe I could just go and live in a hotel for a little while. I did say it out loud, and it made my mom very unhappy, but it was fleeting, and after that, it was obviously not the thing to do. I guess at that point, the role model sort of switches over from people, real people, and people around you, and your idols, and the people that you look up to, like your parents and things like that, and that your best chance is to look to Jesus, and that's the top of the top role model. Everybody else is fallible. The concepts of forgiveness and what it means to be a sinner and topics like that were very heavy for a few years there. I guess it definitely put into light like how important it was to really act the way that you were supposed to, and act the way you were saying, and act the way that God wants you to. Why these things matter. It sort of mattered a lot more all of a sudden. Getting through all that, I suppose, was a really long process. I guess it's still ongoing, of course. This means that he sort of cares. He's not just sort of leaving us out there. He's willing to go through the same things that we go through in life. Just like how Jesus went through a lot of problems, and we were going through a lot of problems in our lives, there is somebody who didn't succumb to them. So I guess no matter how bad things get, you can sort of look at that. Even though we know we're not God, we know that that person's sort of rooting for us. It's knowing that it's not something that's ever going to fail. It's always something that's true. He did come down for us, and he existed for us in that incarnation. So he sort of embodied love and loving your enemies. I can know that we're not doomed, that no matter what happens, no matter what we do, things are gonna go the way that he made them to go. And that's, I don't know, that's personally comforting. So I guess when I'm feeling a little down, I can remember that even if things were way worse than this, it would still be all right. There's no way we're off the rails. Things are still going according to plan.